Hi Mohan, how are you?
Yeah, fine. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good too, thank you. So can you tell us something about yourself?
Yeah, myself Mohan Babu. I'm having 5 years of experience into software testing. Recently, I worked for Fidelity Information Services as a software test analyst.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm having experience in both functional testing and automation testing.
Mm-hmm.
For automation side, I have experience in Selenium, Java, TestNG, and Cucumber BDD framework. So also I'm having experience into API testing to test the RESTful web services using REST Assured.
Mm-hmm.
As part of Agile team, my roles and responsibilities are understanding the user story requirement and preparing the functional test cases and performing the functional testing for the features once the build is ready from the developer's end, and writing the automation test scripts, executing the automation test suite, and preparing the test reports and maintaining the automation regression suits, and also work along with developers to track the bug status and retesting the bugs whether the bug is fixed by the developer team or not. So all those things I was doing.
Right, right, great. So
Yeah.
can you tell us something about the automation framework on which you are working?
See, yeah, I was working on Selenium Cucumber BD framework.
Mm-hmm.
So for UI testing, so we have used Cucumber framework along with page object model combination. So here we are using Maven as build management tool to manage the dependencies needed for our project by using pom.xml file. And so basically in Cucumber framework, it contains three type of files. That is feature file, step definition file, and test runner file. So
Mm-hmm.
we have a feature file with dot feature extension where we write the test scenarios by using Gherkin keywords like feature, background, scenario outline, examples, given, when, then, and etc. And also we have a step definition file. So step definition file contains the implemented methods for each step of the feature file. So by using annotations like given, when, and then. And we have a test runner file which is used to execute the Cucumber feature files with corresponding step definition files by using Cucumber options annotation. And we have attributes like plugin, glue, features, tracks, dry run, and monochrome. So features we have to pass the feature file path, and glue we have to pass the step definition file path. Plugin is used to generate the test reports,
Mm-hmm.
and tags is used to run the group of test scenarios. We have used tags, and also we have hooks class uh, which is used to run before and after every test scenario. And also we have a base class which contains all the common functions used, for example, reading the properties file and initializing the WebDriver, launching the browser, implementing the WebDriver wait mechanism. And so as part of page object model, we have a dedicated class for each web page which contains the web elements and action methods to perform on those web elements. And apart from this, we have utility classes like Excel utility, config utility, report utility, or screenshot utility classes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, uh, that's all.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Great. So you were mentioning about utilities. You mentioned about reports. Anything
Yeah, yeah.
else apart from this you have in your automation framework? Any CI/CD tool integration that you have?
Yeah, we have Jenkins. We are using Jenkins
Okay,
for
Jenkins.
continuous integration.
Okay.
So
So,
we will integrate the framework with Jenkins, and we'll
mm-hmm.
install the build, and we'll execute the code. And we can also schedule running the uh, build by
Okay.
using Jenkins.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. Okay. So, what are the different challenges that you have faced while doing automation?
Challenges. See, when I get the complex user stories
Mm-hmm.
is assigned to me, Then obviously it will take time.
Hmm.
Maybe when I estimate the uh, time for the tasks, so
Hmm.
maybe I could not complete the task in time because of that complexity.
Hmm.
So that was one challenge, and apart from that, initially I faced a few challenges. See, initially when I started my career into software testing,
Hmm.
so I was not 100% sure uh, all the things to do related to automation testing. So in the
Okay.
learning stage, I faced with some challenges, but now it's fine. I don't have any much challenges.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great.
Yeah.
So whenever this challenge related question you are getting, right? So at that
Okay.
time, what you can explain is in automation, what happens is um, you have created scripts, but there are some change requests that we get from the client side, we get it from the customer side, and there are changes that are done in the application itself. The behaviors will be changed. Sometimes
Yeah.
the UI
Okay.
UX are
Yeah.
getting
Correct.
changed. So what happens is
Yeah.
your automation scripts are getting need to be changed because those will be
You
driven
mean the requirement changes, right?
requirement changes or
No.
any other changes come within the sprint itself. Let's say you were
Yeah.
assigned some user story in one sprint, and what happened is you were working on that automation of that particular user story, but then you got to know, okay, there was a meeting in which the client
Okay.
has told that,
So
okay,
then
this
we have to change the approach,
you have to
right?
change the approach.
Yeah.
Okay,
Correct.
then next instance can be that maybe you have created some script 6 months back. After 6 months there is some change request, so again locators get changed, right? So such kind of things are actually challenges in the automation, right? For which you will have to
Yeah.
collaborate with the development team, you will have to collaborate with the business team and make sure that
Yeah.
such things, if they are taken, then accordingly the estimation for automation scripts also of maintenance should be given, right? It should go
Yeah.
hand in
Yeah.
hand.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Correct.
And the answer that you were telling, that the complexity of the user story that you are unable, so you can avoid telling such things in an interview because they'll see what is
Okay.
your confidence level on the automation, right?
Yeah.
You
Okay.
should be very much confident with respect to, let's say, if irrespective of whatever the complexity is, you can update the product managers, you can update the business team that, okay, in this particular user story, we can automate 60%, we can automate 55%, we can automate 70%. It is not that for every user story you can automate 100%. There are some barriers,
Yeah.
there are some limitations to Selenium, right? So those things you can highlight, you should highlight it upfront, right? That this user story is a complex, and this user story can be automated or can be tested quickly via manual testing. Then it's fine if we do it a partial automation of this particular flow in this script. So that's
Correct.
how you can
Yeah.
deal. Okay. Now, what are the different best practices that you are following in your project while doing automation?
Best practices. Huh?
Yeah, best practices.
So whenever the task is assigned to me, I'll just do the requirement analysis,
Hmm.
and I'll estimate the uh, so what can be achieved through automation, and
Hmm.
what cannot be achieved through automation. What So in that case, in such cases, we'll go through with manual testing,
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
and I'll plan. If the feature is more on if we have to use more test data on testing those feature, so in that case we'll go with the uh, test TDD approach. Otherwise, we'll decide the BDD. We'll prefer the BDD Kukumar BDD framework for that automation. And oh, just
Hmm.
And I'll plan to complete my task, whatever it is. So I'll work out on those things to deliver 100% quality from my end
Hmm.
within the given time.
Okay, okay. See, uh, the things that you were telling, no, that requirement analysis, you'll estimate a particular user story, those are a part of QA process. That whether we are working in automation or we are doing manual testing, that remains the same. When you get this
Okay.
question, what are the best practices that you are following as a part of your automation project? Then you have to
So
speak of some points like you are having, you're using reusable code. For example, if someone has already written some code in their functions or classes for logging, then you will reuse that particular code, right? It, instead of writing the new lines of code within your framework.
yeah, yeah, correct.
Yeah. Then you can also give an example of page object model, that you have implemented page object model such that maintenance of scripts gets easier. So that also you can add. You can also tell about using explicit weights in the automation framework to avoid lines like thread.sleep. Instead of that, you are using explicit wait. It's a conditional based soft delay that has been used in the automation framework.
Okay.
Then you can also tell about parameterization. So in many of the automation framework, what happens is they would have hard coded. If they have to test with respect to 4 users, they will be they'll be writing all those users along with passwords. So instead of that, you can go for parameterization, right? Rather than writing 8 lines, you can go for parameterization. Just create one function and pass those as values.
Yeah,
Then CI/CD integration is also one kind of a best practices. Instead of uh, people who are running the automation manually by clicking on the run button in an IDE, instead of that, it is something that can be automatically triggered. It can be done
yeah,
during your lunchtime. It can be taken care when you are not available, you are on leave. It can be taken care when you need to run some automation during the night time, right? So you
yeah.
can tell all those points.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, fine. So that
Okay,
was
perfect.
about, okay. Now, what is the difference between hash map and hash set?
Yeah. Mm, hash map is a collection.
Hmm.
It is a Java collection. It will store the value. It is it is a collection which stores in a key value pairs.
Hmm.
So hash map does not allow duplicate keys, but it will allow duplicate values. And hash type, what you was hash map and hash sheet.
Hash set. Yeah, hash map and hash set.
Okay.
Hmm.
Hash set. So set, actually the set is also, it is a collection interface.
Hmm.
It allows, it doesn't allow duplicates, and it allows only one null value.
Hmm.
And it does not maintain the insertion order. Yeah.
Okay. Any other difference that you are able to recall?
Hash table. And hash map is non-synchronized,
Hmm.
and hash set is synchronized.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Synchronization. Okay. Okay. So let me share my screen
Yeah.
and I'll tell you a few of the differences.
Okay.
Hmm. Yeah. So hash map. again, hash map and hash set both are collections. So I think you covered that point correctly. Hash map is a key value pair. Okay. And each key in the hash map needs to be unique. You cannot have duplicate keys. And again, key and values in a hash map can be null, right? So regarding null values, you can tell in case of ordering, the order of elements in a hash map is not something that is guaranteed. Okay. Then you will have kind of basic operations like get, put. So that has got proper constant time performance. These are few of the common methods that you will have in hash map, like put, get, remove, contains key, key set. Okay, now what is hash set? So hash set is a collection of unique elements. It does not allow duplicate elements. Here, what we
Yeah.
discussed is in the hash map, uh, again, in hash map, we discussed each key in the hash map must be unique. In hash set, we are discussing it does not allow duplicate elements. Then in case of null element, it will allow a single null element,
Yeah.
right? Then you have some common methods like add, remove, contains, size. So these are the few of the differences, characteristics between hash map and hash set.
Okay.
Now let me give you. So now let me share my screen. Is the website
Yeah.
visible to you? Amazon.com.
Yeah. I'm
Hmm?
able to see.
This is visible. Okay.
Yeah.
Now we have got a search functionality here, which needs to be
Okay.
automated. So your test lead or your test manager is coming to you, or he has sent an email to you that Mohan Babu, you are supposed to automate this particular search feature, right? So,
Okay.
yeah, how will you give the test estimation? How will you estimate this particular user story for automation?
Okay. Only the search feature, right?
Only the search feature for now. Yeah.
Okay. So, first of all, I'll analyze this requirement,
Okay.
and I'll check the complexity, and I'll think of the test scenarios,
Yeah.
and
Okay. So, what do you think? What is the complexity? What would be the complexity of this search feature? Is it high complexity? Is it a medium complexity? Or is it something that has low complexity?
I think it is not a high complexity. So it is a by entering the keywords, we have to enter the text or numbers or whatever it is, and we have to click on the search button. So this is not much complex scenario, and so I'll think of the positive and negative scenarios for this scenario, positive and negative test cases, and based on that, I'll estimate the user story points for this,
Okay. So, whenever you get this
and if
question,
any risks are there.
yeah, yeah,
Okay,
please go ahead. Please go ahead.
and if any risks also is there, I'll think of that also, and also I'll consider the time taken uh, previously in the past similar scenarios. all those things. So based on that, I'll give the estimation.
Okay. So, see, whenever you get this question in a real-time interview, so as you are
Yeah.
working in automation team, so those test cases will be written with you. So there may be some manual testers, or someone from the team would have done the manual testing, and
Okay.
they would have test cases ready with them. They would have number of test cases, so you will get the idea of number of test cases, what are the complexity of those test cases, right? So first of all, the very first thing is that you will do is you will identify how many test cases are eligible for automation, right? It might happen that
Yeah.
10 test
Correct.
cases are written, but out of 10 only 8 test cases are to be considered for automation. Two test cases are something in which the automation cannot be done. So
Yeah. Yeah.
if yeah, so 8 test cases you have identified for automation. Now, out of those 8 test cases, based on complexity level, you feel 3 are medium level complexity, 4 are low level complexity, but one is a high level complexity test case. So what you will do is, now after identifying the complexity, you will see what kind of code is already available in your framework. Is it something that needs to be written from scratch? Is it something that can be reused? Right. So as we were discussing about the reusable code, then you will check if the locators are ready for feature. If it's a new feature, then locators needs to be designed from our side. If it's a feature which was already existing and some update or some change request has come, then the locators might be already available, or they might have to be updated, right? So that's how you can take. And then let's say, next thing is, you can also consider if any functions are written. For example, if search function or click, so after entering search here, we'll click on that particular magnifying lens, right? So if that click method is already available, so that is a common method. So you will see how many common methods are available that you can reuse, right? So that's how you can,
Okay.
yeah, that's how you can give the answer in a real time interview. And don't tell 10 hours, don't tell one day, just tell them, looking into the complexity, I'll update my leads or I'll update my managers accordingly, because you don't know what is the complexity
Yeah.
level.
Immediately we can't give estimation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it depends on scenario to scenario. If it's a simple scenario in which you have to just click on button, it will take less time. If it's a complex scenario, it will take more time, right? So less, more
Yeah.
kind of keywords you have to use. Don't go into the detailed uh, estimation like 1 hour or 2 hour. Then they'll cross question you, why did you take 2 hours, how did you think like that? So just tell them, these are the different parameters, these are the different points on the basis of which I am thinking what can be given as the estimation for this particular user story. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, in your resume it's mentioned that you have got an exposure of creating the requirement traceability matrix, right? So there is a line that is written in your, you have experience in creating requirement traceability matrix to ensure comprehensive test coverage of requirements. So how do you create the requirement traceability matrix?
So requirement. So main objective of creating the requirement traceability matrix is to cover the to make sure that all the every requirement is covered in the form of test cases, so that we don't miss out any testing. So requirement traceability matrix contains test scenario, and test case ID, and test steps, and pre conditions, and post conditions.
So that is test cases, right? You will have prerequisite, you will have test case steps, you will have actual result, expected result, you will have test data, right? In the requirement traceability matrix, you will have requirement ID, you will have features, you will have the test cases ID, and then you will see whether all the test cases are linked with those requirements or not. One to one mapping or one to many mapping is there. So basically, you will make sure that every requirement ID should have a mapping of test cases ID with them. So that's how you will come to know whether all the requirements are covered or not, right?
Yeah, yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's how you can explain about requirement traceability matrix. And then you can also get the question on forward, what is forward compatibility matrix and what is backward compatibility matrix. So are you aware about those things?
No, no.
Yeah. So let that, yeah. So let this be an open question for the people who are watching this video. What do you mean by forward compatibility matrix? And what do you mean by backward compatibility matrix?
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah. So, Mohan, how do you resolve merge conflicts in Git? Let's say you are getting some merge conflict in a Git. So, how would you resolve them?
So much conflicts. Actually, the conflicts happens when when me and one of my team member works changes same lines of the code in a
Yeah.
file.
Or working on the same
Uh,
page. Yeah.
yeah, same
Hmm.
file or something.
Hmm.
So we both should have mutual discussion, and we have to compare, and we have to stick to one line. So
Hmm.
whichever is correct, we'll go with that approach,
Hmm. Hmm.
and
Hmm.
then we'll add that file to staging area, and we'll commit the changes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So now let me give you screen sharing rights. You need to click on share screen button and you need to write a Java program on
Okay.
yeah, so you need to write a Java program on identifying how many characters are there in the string. The string is your name itself. So you have to come up with the
Okay.
count of characters that are present.
So I have to do it in IDE or
Yeah, you can use any IDE,
online developer.
Eclipse or IntelliJ, whichever you are comfortable.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what is the
So
actual
yeah. So can you please share your screen? You can click on share screen button so we can see your screen.
yeah, sure.
Yeah. The question is you are supposed to write a Java program on counting the number of characters that are present in the string. So string is your name
Counting the
itself. Yeah,
number of characters.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. You're
So
able to see my screen?
yeah, yeah, I'm able to see. So you can open IDE. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So let's say your name is Mohan Babu. So how many characters are there in that string? So that count you have to take.
Yeah, okay, okay. I
Hmm.
understood.
So a lot of practice you have done. Your IDE is quite loaded with a lot of programming, Selenium practice that you have done.
Yeah.
Great. Happy to see that. Yeah, are you done?
Yeah, yeah, doing.
Okay, okay.
I think I need to give you method.
Okay, so you are done writing the program.
Yeah, yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, okay, great. So can you run this program?
Yeah, I have to give the method
Okay.
string here.
And what it is saying, some errors. 9. Yeah, that's the correct answer.
Yeah,
So can you explain this program?
yeah. The logic.
Uh,
My logic is I have declared a variable called count with zero. So
okay.
to count the each character of the
Mm-hmm.
string. So to convert the string to character, I have used to char array method here.
Mm-hmm.
So it will store into array each character of the string from the string. It will store into this array. So by using for loop, I just increment the count variable,
Mm.
and by using the condition, the array length. That's all I did.
Okay, okay, great, great. Yeah, this is a good approach. Mm. Okay, Mohan, I am done with the interview.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions for me? So you can stop sharing your screen. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Any questions you have for me?
I do. So I
Hmm.
need any some suggestions
Right,
to
right,
crack the interview.
right, right. So suggestions would be